One of my words of the year is dynamic. Being dynamic means having a positive attitude and being full of energy and new ideas. I believe that you are a dynamic person. I believe that when you started this business, you were inspired by a message that was all about being your own person, setting your own hours, working with your own dream clients, working on your own terms. You were inspired by a message that valued you, valued your heart and soul, and put you as a human being on the forefront. And now, somewhere along the line, it's turned into duplicating someone else's business model. It's turned into trying to copy and paste someone else's framework. You joined some type of program or masterclass or course that talked all about creating your own world, creating your own empire. But now you're here and you're constantly feeling this imposter syndrome and comparison syndrome. You find yourself scrolling and doom scrolling, and it's never ending, and constantly having to restart after every 2 weeks of working towards a goal because it doesn't feel authentic, it doesn't feel intuitive, it doesn't feel like you. But you're a dynamic person at your core, and you have so many ideas and so much energy to give and so much progress to make. And if this imposter syndrome could just subside, if we could work through it, if you could defeat these limiting beliefs, you would be unstoppable. You deserve to be making karmic profit, money that comes to you because of the good energy and the authentic, intuitive energy that you are putting out. You deserve to be pursuing a kinetic purpose, something that is fast moving and powerful and constantly fueling you up with energy and excitement and is really true to your ikigai, your vision, your values, and who you are as a person. You deserve to unlock peace in your life. You started this because you valued lifestyle. You valued creating your own path of traveling and logging on whenever you want to and being able to mentally log off. But somewhere along the line, you started always being mentally logged on, always opening your Instagram DMs or opening your client portals just to check, just to make sure. And you're never mentally piecing out and logging off. You deserve to unlock that key to peace. And you deserve to embody your killer power. You have so much power that has been silenced and drained down because you're trying to do what everyone says. This is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. You have so much power, and once that power is activated, you will be so dynamically unstoppable. This is what the program Dynamic is all about. We are working through powerful lessons in the laws of the universe and incorporating an intuitive strategy that is really, truly yours, not mine, not anyone else's, yours, because entrepreneurship is about innovation. It's about creating your own path. It's about creating your own industry and opening new portals, not just following in through what everyone else has done and following to just be another face in the industry. You are unique, you are dynamic, and you have a voice that needs to be shared. You have group elements with a powerful group of people that are on the same page as you. You have opportunities for one-on-one support on our group lab calls and our workshop calls, and you have opportunities for independent innovation and clarification and moving the needle, making action happen in your modules. We have 4 modules: karmic profit, kinetic purpose, killer power, and key to peace. With these 4 modules, with your group support, our group chat, our alignment labs, and our workshop calls, you are going to be unstoppable. We have 4 months together. We start in February and we finish right before the summer, which means this is going to be your hot girl summer. This is your summer where your business has turned around and become your dream empire. Clarity, alignment, peace, karmic profit, purpose, power. It is an incredible space. You are going to be unstoppable, and I am so excited to serve you inside of Dynamic. Payment plans start at $450 a month. Send me a message or apply in the link in the description. We start February 5th, so don't wait. Remember, there's no strings attached in just reaching out to me or in applying, so that you can put yourself in the room and have the opportunity to. Don't hold yourself back from an opportunity that could be aligned just out of fear. Today, we are going to be talking about 4 laws of the universe that can completely change your life, change the way that you're manifesting. I think these aren't talked about enough, or they're only talked about in one narrowed perspective. And we're here on the Perspective Podcast, so we are opening up the portal to all new perspective. And I'm really excited to see you walk away from this episode excited to embody manifestation in a new perspective. I think sometimes we get a little bit stuck in the one way we do it. Like maybe you always open your journal and do the 3-6-9 method, or maybe you always sit and meditate and visualize. And that's really great. I think consistency is important, but I also think changing it up, having some new approaches, just like changing up your workout routine to get some fresh energy in your body and doing a little like a refresh, or going to a new store or trying out a new morning routine. I think sometimes it's really great and it can help open the door. Like, another great example is different ways of learning just in general. Like, if you've ever been in a classroom, I mean, I'm sure you've been in a classroom at some point. Sometimes PowerPoint slides don't work for you, but sitting down with someone and talking through notes really does work for you. Or sometimes flashcards really work for you, but for some people that is just not the vibe and you need to record yourself reading over your notes and listen to it like a podcast. So it's a different way of implementing the same thing. And sometimes people can say things over and over and over again. They can keep repeating it a million times. One person says it's slightly different and it's like your whole world has changed. So that's the vibe today. We're talking about these 4 laws of the universe. We're talking about the law of detachment, the law of least effort, the law of balance, and the law of influence. I'm really, really excited for the last one, so make sure you stick around for the whole thing. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Perspective with Kaylee Phillips, the safe space to get deep, break through, and find alignment. Here we prioritize wholehearted self-love, passion-driven careers, and living your absolute best life. You're here for a reason, so jump into the good energy, put your rose-colored glasses on, and tune in for massive impact and growth. I'm your host, KP, ready to release perfect and welcome perspective.
First law we are talking about is the law of detachment. We are going to be using coffee for all of these laws to help you see it represented and explained in a very tangible and understandable, easy to digest way. You know me, I like to keep it easy to digest, and we're also using it just as a fun, different perspective. I think we often just always connect it back to offers and money, and it will come back to that in your own mind, and we'll get to that conversation, but we're going to use coffee to start out so that you can feel so grounded and so clear in how these laws work that you can easily re-explain it to yourself without it getting overcomplicated. So, the law of detachment, you've probably heard of it before, but basically the law of detachment tells us we need to detach our mind and our energy from our efforts and from the outcome, and we need to allow ourselves to be fully present in the moment and to actually just enjoy the experience of growth instead of being so attached. So this, if you are falling victim to not living by the law of detachment, you're living the law of attachment. You are putting a post out and gripping your fingers saying, I hope this one lands me a client. You are putting in the work and then you are so attached to the outcome of it that you don't even enjoy the work anymore. And if it doesn't bring you a result, you feel like the work wasn't worthy. So now I know I'm talking about work and examples of business, but let's come back to that coffee. So I think a good one to put it into digestible perspective is you order a coffee at a coffee shop and you are so impatient and so attached to the idea of that first sip feeling. You are literally staring at the workers. You order, you pay, and you're that person that stands there with your arms crossed at the edge of the counter, watching the baristas and waiting. And you're growing more and more impatient the more that you stare. You're just staring and watching and waiting, and it's all you can think about. You don't even go on your phone. You're just watching them, and you're like, oh my God, what are they doing? Why are they refilling the ice? Why can't they just go make my coffee? Oh my God, why is she starting to clean that? Just make my coffee. Oh my God, I've been standing here for 4 minutes. You haven't made my simple cold brew. That is being attached. That's what you're doing to your goals. Now, instead, you could have ordered your coffee, chatted it up with a stranger, had a great conversation that impacted the rest of your day. They could have said something that completely changed your day and gave you a new motto and new outlook and super excitement. You could have made a phone call to your mom. You could have just enjoyed the view outside. You could have looked around at the decorations and just been present in the moment of this super cute coffee shop. There might have been a sign on the wall that said something really inspiring with an angel number under it, and that could have made the rest of your day amazing. But instead, you were staring at the baristas, so attached to that coffee. Now, here's the thing. When you order a coffee, you know it's coming. Once you've paid and that order is in, you don't have to stand there and stare. No matter how long it takes, it's coming. They're not just going to randomly say, actually, never mind. You put in the work, you put in the effort, you paid for it, you're here, but never mind. That's not going to happen. So you don't have to stand there. You don't have to stand there and watch over it. You don't have to grip your fingers and say, when is it coming? You don't have to get impatient. 333 on the timer. You don't have to be impatient. You don't have to be attached. You can enjoy your life. You can walk outside if you want to. You can do whatever you want between the time that you decide you're getting that coffee and the time that you're holding the coffee in your hand. When you're detached, you not only feel like you got that coffee faster because you weren't so hyper-fixated on it coming, but you also enjoyed the moment. You enjoyed the process of waiting for it. That is a law of detachment. Not hyper-fixating on it, doing the work, and then detaching and allowing the result to come to you and trusting that it's gonna come. Just like you order a coffee, it's gonna come. It's not gonna magically evaporate. The results are going to come. Your efforts are aligned. Your efforts are intentional. The results are going to come. It's inevitable. Your success is inevitable. Now, this leads us right into the next one, the law of least effort. You don't have to do anything for that coffee to come. There's nothing you have to do. You can literally just relax, and you did all you had to do. Now, let's say you order that coffee, and you are standing over them and asking them a bunch of questions. Did you make that right? Did you do that right? Are you sure you used that right? You are doing the most. Maybe even getting there, you did the most. Ordering it. You ordered like all the different flavors and all the things. Like you couldn't decide between caramel and hazelnut and vanilla and pumpkin and brown sugar, so you got all of it. And you couldn't decide which milk you want, so you got a little bit of everything. And you couldn't decide between cold brew and espresso, so you got both. And you got it in an extra large just to be sure that you like it. And you got 3 drinks because you couldn't decide. You did the most. And now as they're making it, you're watching over them. And now you're just going to have an insane coffee experience. You're not going to have a simple, enjoyable cold brew. You're going to have a lot going on. It's going to be overwhelming. And you're probably going to feel like super overwhelmed and overstimulated after all of your hard work at questioning the baristas and being so heavily full of effort in the process. Now, the law of least effort tells us making too much of an effort actually generates stress and wears away on your energy. And that is not the way to be magnetizing and attracting your manifestations to you. It's important to be productive, to reach your objective, and then allow yourself to rest. The rest and the detachment are vital steps in the process, especially the resting part, because then you're just burning yourself out. Now, I know my coffee example was a little bit silly, but I want you to realize how silly it is and use that as part of this lesson. It would be so silly to do that when ordering your coffee, when you could simply just order what you know you like. If you're a hazelnut queen with no milk, then just get that. Get what you like. Keep it simple. Simple is better than crazy. And then just enjoy the coffee shop. Just sit down and be. Just be present until it's ready for you, and then it's going to come to you. That is so much better. It brings the coffee out faster. It gives you a better result, a better experience. Simple is better than everything. So the way that you can kind of associate this with your work towards your goals is putting out every single type of content just to be safe. Talking on your stories 5 times a day just to be safe. Posting 2 reels a day and a carousel every day just to do the most and to make sure it works out. Making a program that covers every single thing that has to do with starting a business, running a business, and creating content for it and engaging for it and being mindful during it just to be safe and make sure you cover all your grounds and get everyone you possibly can into your programs. Working all day to make sure that you're doing the most. Working on every single social platform just to make sure you get yourself out there. That is the exact opposite of what you want to be doing. To live in alignment and to follow the law of least effort. Law of least effort tells us post the content that's quality, even if it's 2 posts in 1 week. Quality content for an aligned human that makes sense for your business, and in the program you're selling them into, make it what you truly thrive in, make it align with your passion, like in the dynamic conversation, aligned with your kinetic purpose, not doing everything. And if you don't know what your kinetic purpose is, you need to be inside of dynamic so that we can find it. That is what will attract the karmic profit and all of the things that make the pieces fall into place. Doing what works best for you, the least effort, and then once you've done it, log off and rest. And if you're not able to do that, if you're not able to mentally log off, then you need the key to peace module in dynamic. It just all, dynamic is so great. I'm obsessed with it. Anyway, that's the law of least effort. Use that coffee analogy to remind yourself how silly it is to be doing the most in your business. It's too much, it's overwhelming you, it's burning you out, and it's not speaking to your audience. It's actually overwhelming your audience too, just like how you were overwhelming the barista. That's what it's doing to your audience when you're putting everything into your program or everything into your service, trying to do like an all-inclusive social media and virtual assistant and engagement all in one, it's too much. Unless it feels perfectly aligned for you and you can tell your audience, this is why all of these pieces make perfect sense for me in my alignment, then go for it. But it needs to be at your core, your true alignment, your mind, body, soul, energy combination, and it needs to allow room for you to breathe. If it doesn't allow room for you to breathe, then it's not following the law of least effort. Now, this one leads me perfectly again into the law of balance. So the law of balance says you naturally crave balance as a human. The low moments create the polarity that allow for the high moments. Find gratitude and lessons in the challenges and watch yourself become a better person. Now, this one might be controversial because I know it would be great if every single day that you ordered your coffee, it was perfect. It was always great, always tastes exactly the same. Oh, there's such a good TV show example of this. What is it? Oh my gosh. I think it's from SpongeBob. I think I'm thinking of SpongeBob, where he does the same thing every single day, and he starts out happy, and he's following the routine, and it keeps looping and looping every day. And then by the last one, he's like really shrugged over and like exhausted from it. I don't know if it's SpongeBob, but like you see the picture, like it's like very cartoony of like every day, like he starts like smiling, he makes his coffee, he goes to work, he comes home, he reads the paper, he goes to sleep, and then like by the end he's like literally drained and exhausted and bored. If your coffee was exactly perfect every single day, there would be no polarity. There would be no lows to balance out the high. And it is so difficult to get a shitty coffee and say, I'm grateful for this coffee that doesn't taste good. I know, but maybe you were meant to throw out that coffee because later on someone's going to home make you a coffee and it's going to be even better and you don't want to double up on your caffeine because that's too much, even though I drink like 3 coffees a day. It's fine. You are always in the right place at the right time. And this brings me kind of into the burnt toast theory, which I think is just a TikTok-derived theory, but it's something that we all talk about even if we don't call it the burnt toast theory. I usually refer to it as missing the bus. I've never called it a theory, but you miss the bus, it's annoying. No one wants to miss the bus, you're late. But there's a reason. I don't know if you guys heard the story of someone who missed their flight, and then the flight, they were sitting at the exit door, and the door flew off. But they missed the flight, and they were fine. And they were probably annoyed that they missed their flight, probably very angry that they missed their flight. But missing that flight saved their life. So that's the burnt toast theory. You burn your toast, it's annoying. You have to waste a piece of toast. But there's some reason. There's always an underlying reason, and that gives us our balance. We naturally crave highs and lows as humans. Sadness gives us happiness. Grief gives us celebration and gratitude. It all requires each other. And the bigger your polarities are, the lower your lows are, the higher your highs feel. And I know that that's hard to think about, so just try to think about it with the coffee. If you never knew what a bad coffee tasted like, when your coffee's good, you wouldn't be as excited. You know that day when they make it so good? You're like, oh my God, they killed it today. You wouldn't feel that ever if it was perfect every day. You wouldn't. It wouldn't exist because now perfect has become neutral. So that's our law of balance. And I want you to remember that when you don't get the job you wanted to get, when you don't book the client that you had your hopes up for, because it just means that something better is out there for you. And that's the line that everyone always says, oh, it's okay. There's something better out there for you. Something better will come along. And it's hard in the moment to really think that and believe it. So that's why I want to remind you of this law of balance, that we literally need disappointment in order to have celebration as humans. That is the human life experience. And that is something we get to celebrate. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Now this leads me into our last law here, the law of influence. This one says we are all interconnected. There are no coincidences. Signs pointing you in the right direction are all around you when you look for them, when you're aware of them. It is all meant to be. I always feel this when I enter a coffee shop. I'm in the right place at the right time. I don't know why, but I just am. My order number is the right one. If it's taking forever, if I got it immediately, whatever time or day I decided to go get coffee, I'm in the right place. The people that I see, the people that Mason interacts with, I don't know what experiences he's having, but I know that he always meets someone when we're on a walk or when we go into a coffee shop, and it's all meant to be because maybe he met someone and that made their day, and then they go and talk about it, and then they decide to get a dog. That's happened many times where I refer people to his the place that I got him, and I don't know if they ended up getting dogs. I hope they did, but we are always in the right place at the right time. We are always connected. The things you see on the ground, picking up a penny, the little moments and the big moments, meeting a stranger, meeting a friend, disconnecting from a friend, it is all meant to happen. You listening to this right now, it's meant to happen. Wherever you are while you're listening to this, you're in the right place at the right time. I'm influencing you right now. You're influencing someone else right now. It's all happening in alignment. When you're looking for the signs, they are there. If you're not aware of the signs, you're not letting yourself look. If you're not letting yourself look for the signs, if you're putting up blocks and saying, life is what it is, everything's just, life sucks, the world's falling apart, then that's what you're going to see. You're going to see that because of what we talked about earlier, those vibrations, what you are, what you feel, it all goes back and forth. It is like attracts like, but when you let yourself see the signs, when you say, I'm looking for abundance today, I'm looking for love today, I'm looking for positivity today, you will see it because we are all connected and we are all giving each other those experiences. At the end of the day, your dreams are in the cards. It is time for you to unlock your potential for true alignment, and I believe that embodying these laws is what's going to take you there. So I hope this was helpful for you today. Go to the link in the description and apply for Dynamic. It's an incredible program, and I'm so excited to serve you inside of it.
Thank you for tuning in to Perspective with KP. Let's connect with each other on Instagram and TikTok at Align with KP. Download my free masterclass to kickstart your alignment journey in the episode description. Shout out to Michelle Kreber for producing our music. Keep choosing you and keep choosing alignment. See you next time. Love, KP.